So basically what I'm going to share with you in the first 10 minutes is how can we make this thing happen? How can we have publishers working together with startups in the new digital age? And Dosdoce, which basically is a company that we created 10 years ago, we do research on an annual basis and we analyze how publishers are using new technologies. And in February of this year, we did this last research, and basically we asked 174 publishers and startups what were their relationships between each other. I will give you some of the highlights, but then you can download for free the full report whenever you like. But as we have seen throughout the day, technology is changing our publishing world. I mean, we've seen through whole day, a lot of innovation ideas, new ways of creating products, new way of distributing products, new way to socialize, with our readers and with our libraries, with everyone. But to me, everything can be summarized in two key concepts. The first transformation that we're seeing today is a transformation around content. And that's why you publishers are part of it, because you got the content. Maybe in some countries it's the agents who have part of the content and they have to lend their rights to you, but basically the whole transformation in the industry has been content driven. But that's going to end very, very soon. And we're moving into the second phase of the transformation of the industry, and that's going to be driven by technology. But technology not around devices, not around tablets, not around mobiles, but around services. And this is something that I think summarizes a lot of what has been said in the last session about data and about social media and engagement with the readers and selling direct. I will explain a little bit more. But to me, this is the most important part of it. We coming from a content-driven industry in a container. It was in a book, okay, hardcover, paperback, whatever. It was contained in a format. And we're going into a service industry. And this is radical change the way we have a structure of businesses, the way we manage the day-to-day operations, the skills that we have as a publisher. Because services can mean all these different things. And most of these keywords have been somehow being explained today during the day. Self-publishing, that's a service. A reader community, that's a service. So start thinking about what are those services out there that you as a publisher have to start creating in order to be able to sell your products online. Because we all know the content, the value of the content on the internet, it tends to go to zero. And people are only going to buy your content because of the services around them. And this is something that you have to start understand. If not, you're not going to be competitive in the digital age. And I truly believe as startups, technical companies are going to help you define those services, because they have a different digital mindset. They think in another way. Yes, they're a bit weird, some of them, but very smart. Very, very smart people that can really highlight you where is the business opportunity in this new digital age. So in order to frame this concept, this discussion, as I told you in the introduction, what we did is this international survey. We really wanted to know, what were the different perceptions between each other, between the publishers and the startup communities? What are the expectations between these two different types of companies? Because basically they have different business cultures. It's not easy to engage, as later we will see from the conversations with Molly and Anna. It is not easy to engage in conversations with these different bodies, because each one has a different legacy. Each one comes from a different managerial structure and day-to-day way of doing business. And you will see in the full report, if you're interested, you can download it. There's a Spanish version and an English version. If you want to practice your Spanish when you go, down to Spain for your vacation, you can read that one. But if not, you have an English version. And if anyone wants to translate into Swedish, you're free and open because it's a copyleft license. But you will see that unfortunately, there's very few contacts between startups and publishers. It is very hard to find, and I really appreciate Molly's effort that she's doing in the industry, but it's very hard to find publishers that have already started working this road. And when they meet, it was actually very interesting when we did the survey. When the publishers meet with a startup, they have a different expectation or a different objective than when a startup meets with a publisher. On the publisher side, basically they want to know what's going on. What are the latest insights? What are the latest trends? And from the startup perspective, which they're desperate to get a client, they're desperate to prove, their idea and to see if someone will buy it. They really want to close a deal. Okay, so I was not surprised when we asked both parties if there was any follow-up meetings, and you will see in the data that it was very, very low. Okay, but actually we also asked them, about their future, 3 years down the line, where they saw each other, and there was a very, very, very a strong interest to work together in a much more fluid and frequent way, because startups are desperate for feedback. They really want to know if the idea they have in their mind, if the technology they're developing can be validated or not. And most of them, some not, but most of the startups, they need the publisher's content to validate that idea, to validate that technology. Okay, so any feedback given from you, if you're on the right track, if your technology needs extra features in order to be able to be integrated into my business model, or whatever other thing that you think that entrepreneur needs to know, those kind of comments are strongly, as you will see in the report, appreciated by the startup community. And one thing they came up, which I think was a very, very good idea, if you can appoint someone within the organization, no matter how big or small you are, someone who's responsible to meet on a regular basis with these people, so they have a visible person that they can touch and call and see if they can start, having a conversation. And this person will basically be responsible to go up there to the market, to, conferences like this one here and abroad, and see what technology is out there. That's another thing we have to start thinking. Internet has no frontiers. We stop thinking from, I'm Swedish, I'm Spanish, I'm Italian. No. We live in the internet, and maybe the technology they're looking for is here, but maybe it's in Brazil, or maybe it's in the US, or maybe it's down in Spain. Whatever it is, translating technology is one of the easiest things we find out in the last few years. And this person will do that, will research, what is the technology supposedly that will help me develop the business model that I'm looking in the internet. And it will meet, as I said, on a regular basis with these people and try to engage on multiple areas. I mean, it's not only about investing in the startups. That's another, possibility. That's another option, and some ones are doing it and others not. But as you see in this list, you can do many, many things with these companies. And it's all around data. It's all around engagement. It's all around relationships. It's all around direct selling. Whatever business process you're thinking of resolving in the internet, there's probably a good technology that can help you do that. If you're thinking of self-developing, well, maybe you're cash rich, but most likely you will run out of cash very soon because, as you know, technology evolves very fast and probably be outdated. But we also ask startups about if they had any problem having publishers in their companies. And I was truly surprised about this because I meet with a lot of people and I had thought they had a very negative perception about publishers. It's not. I mean, they really welcome you guys as part of their shareholding community. They really think that you can really give them value. In that respect, I also asked publishers if they were interested in investing in startups. And many of them say yes, but supposedly there is no interesting projects out there. And if you look to the program of today and to the one that we had a couple of days ago in Milan and the one we're having coming up in September in Spain, there are tons of interesting technologies out there that can help create and define your business models. It is not true that there's not technology available out there. So my recommendation as an end to this introduction, start embracing technology. Start embracing the technology that has specialized in our sector. Because one of the things that is very awkward compared to other business, to other sectors, is that in these sectors, and I mentioned the examples in the study that you can download, telco, financial companies, healthcare companies, transportation companies are investing in the startups that they have specialized in their sector because they truly believe that they are going to be the ones that are going to identify the business opportunity and they're going to help them be competitive in the digital age. And to my surprise, with very few exceptions in our sector, there are very few publishers that are investing in the startup community. And if we do not believe in our technology, we do not believe in our future. Because I think that both of us, publishers and technical companies, have to transform ideas into products and services.